Much of Cardiff's early season success has been based upon a frugal defensive outlook. The foundational piece of this defensive jigsaw has been Nathan Trott. Never seemingly ruffled, but rather with a stylish nonchalance, the custodian of the gloves has quickly become a fan favourite for his athletic saves at key times. So if you're going to try and put the coolest man in Cardiff under a little bit of pressure, why not do an interview surrounded by bees in a wonderful rooftop sustainability garden in Cardiff Bay?
Nathan, we're in beautiful Cardiff Bay, the docks behind us, the weather has been kind to us, unlike when we did this with Ruben, so leads me to ask, how are you settling into Cardiff?
Yeah, for me it's been a smooth transition. Obviously by now on the pitch it's been pretty positive for me, and off the pitch getting used to the boys and the coaching staff and then just the city in general. It's been a pretty smooth transition for me, so yeah, I'm enjoying it.
It's good to hear. We like to make these Uncaged interviews a little unique for everybody. Have you ever done an interview in a sustainability garden with bees buzzing around you?
No, it's probably the first time I've ever done something like this, so it's interesting to see all the bees fly around, and it's strange for me, but yeah, it's different, but it's fun.
You were talking to me off camera and you were saying Cardiff, you've settled in because you find it quite similar to Copenhagen.
Yeah, I'll say just the size of the city. Obviously you've got the bay here and like the countryside, the green and everything like that, so it's a lot of similarities. So for me it's been a pretty easy transition.
So before we get on to Cardiff City, we've got to go on your career journey because it's an interesting one. So started off in Bermuda and you enjoyed playing in goals occasionally, but you were an outfield player.
Yeah, so up until the age of 14, 15, I never really took goalkeeping seriously. It was a bit of a freak accident the way it happened. I just used to go and goal for fun when I was younger, and then I think we had a tournament for Bermuda, one of the youth teams, and we had a keeper there, Jai Daniels, who was the starting keeper at the time, and my coach Baskin was the one who said I could come on the trip if I could come a second choice keeper. So I just took the opportunity. Said yeah, it's a free trip to Mexico to play football. It should be fun. And unfortunately, Jai got injured in the first game, and I went in since then. And I played really well against some top countries. So I just thought since then I might as well just stay in goal. It was a lot of fun, and if I want to take football serious, I felt like that was the position maybe I could break through, and I feel like it was a good decision in the end.
Very much a good decision, but you're saying to Cardiff City fans that we've got a top-class goalkeeper because you wanted a free trip to Mexico.
Yeah, you could say it like that. You could put it that way, but yeah, that's exactly how it happened. So yeah.
When you were playing as an outfield player, a midfielder, a defender, it wasn't just in Bermuda. You spent some time in the Valencia academy.
Yeah, I was in Valencia for a bit in my younger years. I think I left Bermuda at 12 or 13, and yeah, I spent a few years there just developing. Yeah, and then eventually went back to Bermuda to finish high school, and then went back to the UK to do some trials at different teams and different clubs, and yeah, I ended up at West Ham eventually.
We think about you as footballers on the pitch. You're clearly a relaxed customer. How does Nathan Trott relax?
Off the pitch, I don't really go out anywhere. I like to travel if I get the time off, so like international breaks, I either go back to London. I have a few cousins that stay in London, so I like to visit them and go hang out a bit. Or I like to travel, just do just different trips abroad. So either go Spain or France or different countries like that. And if not, if it's after training, I'm really just chilling inside my house. To be honest, I'm not someone who's always out in the city. I just like to chill, watch a few shows, sport documentaries. That's all I really be doing at the house.
Favorite sports documentary right now?
I think I just finished F1.
Yeah.
F1, there was a new season. I think it's called Drive to Survive. Yeah. So I got into that a few years, and then I just flipped between sports. So it could be a basketball one, like the Michael Jordan one, or there's just loads of different ones that I like to watch. So yeah.
And you said to me you're out exploring some of the shops in Cardiff. You're a bit of a fashion icon. Are you the best dressed in the changing room right now?
I wouldn't say I'm the best dressed. I don't really try too hard when I'm going into training, but if I'm going out, I'll put in a bit more effort. But I'll say there's a few boys that are decent dressed. There's a couple of the young boys like to give it a go.
Let us in. Who
I don't want to put them on blast, but they know who they are.
Pollard still moving. Oh, does well, gets into the area, and it's a brilliant save from Nathan Trott. Left hand, near post.
Going back to football then, obviously playing as an outfield player, the modern way is for keepers to be able to play out and start that quick transition, and that is obviously an advantage to you.
Yeah, I think for me it's a bit of a blessing, to be honest. I feel like everything worked out almost too perfect for me in terms of being good at the ball at my feet. I've spent majority of my life, or almost half of my life, being an outfielder, and then being able to improve as a goalkeeper as well from the ages of 14 to up until now. So yeah, like to say I'm pretty composed with the ball at my feet. I wouldn't say I'm outfield level, but I'll say I'm pretty strong with the ball at my feet. I'm quite relaxed on the ball, and I think I can use that as an advantage in my game, especially how we play and what the manager wants from me as well. I feel like it's a good fit for what we want to achieve as a team and how we want to play.
Something I've always been interested in, and Cardiff City have a very good goalkeeping coach with Gavin Ward, and you've got a good collective there. But when you're doing goalkeeper training, is it rinse and repeat? You're just, doing the fundamentals? Are you doing different things? How does a goalkeeper training break down?
Yeah, it's the basics. It may seem boring to others when you get told you're going to do the same thing, like whether it's volleys or making a 5-yard pass. But these are the fine details that people don't see in the game. Obviously, in the game, it looks like it's all natural, and especially with Wardy, we work on a lot of things on the ball, whether it's with my feet or with my hands. And he's been honest with me since the first day. He's seen things that I can improve on, and he's also told me my strengths. So we're in constant communication on what I can improve and how I can improve the team as much as possible. So yeah, it's a really good relationship at the moment, and I feel like it's shown on the pitch as well. And yeah, it's just a lot of honesty involved and straightforward communication, which has helped me to a positive start to the season.
I don't know if Gavin's told you, but when he played for Cardiff City in the early 90s, his nickname was Scud, because Scud Missile, he could kick the ball a long way. Have you had a kicking competition yet?
No, not with him, no. That's the first time I've heard that, to be honest. So I think next time I'm in training, I'll ask him about that name. And but he's been pretty humble about it. He hasn't really spoken too much of himself. But yeah, that's interesting.
Going back to your career journey, obviously you came over to the UK with West Ham and highly thought of and signed, a 4-year contract, went out with some loan spells. What was the West Ham experience like?
Well, for me, it was amazing. I think they took care of me a lot since I arrived. Obviously, I came straight from Bermuda. I think before I was at West Ham, I was playing in the second division in Bermuda, so the transition for me was good. I had a lot of coaches and a good support system there, and they saw potential in me and put a lot of effort into me. And obviously, me signing long-term contracts, backed that up as well. I had amazing goalkeeper coaches in Jerome John and Xavi Valero and a lot of other Terry Wesley who helped me a lot during that phase. And I think since the first year, I went through the ranks pretty quickly and improved a lot as a keeper.
You mentioned you got relatives in London, but was it a culture shock of any kind? Was it easy to settle into a big city coming from Bermuda? What was that experience like?
Yeah, I would say it was different, but I left my home since I was 12, so it wasn't like it was a major difference for me. Obviously, I think moving to Spain was probably a bit more of a culture shock than moving to the UK. Obviously, everyone speaks English, so for me it was fine. I'm not someone who gets too distracted around loads of different environments and things like that. My head's pretty screwed on with what I need to do, and for me, I just focused on football at that moment. And since the first year I was there at West Ham, it kind of everything changed pretty quickly for me in my life. So yeah.
I'm going to come back to it. You do just seem so level-headed. Is there anything that gets you particularly stressed? Is it traffic jams or queues, or what makes you a little bit stressed?
Losing. That's the only thing that stresses me. I hate losing. I'm really competitive, whether that's on the pitch or if I'm playing PlayStation. I just like to win. So yeah, I try not to let other things faze me too much. I just kind of take it in stride, just take it day by day, and yeah, just see wherever life takes me. And it's brought me to a lot of amazing places. It's brought me here. And I feel like right now in my career, this is exactly where I need to be.
When we looked at your CV when you signed, obviously one of the main things that stuck out was you had experience of League One. You weren't coming in here blind. That loan spell at AFC Wimbledon, playing against guys who obviously were going to try and ruffle a keeper up and get a little bit physical. And did that help with your development?
I would say yeah, because I think sometimes when you're in youth football, especially if you're like a top academy, like in the Premier League, you're kind of in a bubble in terms of physicality where you haven't really experienced it as much, especially as a keeper. You don't really get that level of grown men pushing up against you and just trying to challenge you as much as possible. So for me, it was like not a shock, but just something to get used to. Especially at 19 years old, it was something that I feel like I needed at that time, and I feel like I learned a lot during that period. So I think that's something that really woke me up into men's football for sure.
Obviously, it's a team game, but a goalkeeper can sometimes be the hero. And I commentated on a game at Luton where you pulled off some great saves in an excellent away victory. An away game at Wigan, you made a crucial save before half-time. Does that give you the same buzz as a goal scorer? How does that feel when you make a save is so important?
I'm super hard on myself, so I wouldn't say it's the same as a goal. I think a goal is a bit different. But yeah, I think after the game, when you look I think these moments in games are really big in terms of how the momentum can swing, making a save like that. You know, if the team scores, that 1-1 at Wigan, everything can change. So yeah, I think these moments is important for me, whether it's one save in the 90th minute or if I have to make 7-8 saves against Luton or no saves and just using my feet and commanding the box. That's just something I have to be ready for, especially if we're fighting for promotion and we want to be high up on the table. These are things that questions that need to be answered for the whole remainder of the season. So not just now.
We've got to ask you about the Barry Murphy experience and his coaching staff at all. Everyone is waxing lyrical about it at the moment. What is it like to work in that environment?
Yeah, he's got such a good energy. He's really positive with us, and one thing I can say, he's just honest with everyone. He doesn't take training lightly. He's heavily involved. He's always talking with the players, everyone who's playing, those who aren't playing as much. Yeah, he's always supporting and trying to improve everyone as much as possible and keep the standards high and just try and create a positive environment. And, he doesn't really leave you with any question marks in terms of not knowing what you need to do on the pitch. I think he makes it very clear what each person on the field needs to do. And, that's a credit to him and his communication and, his desire to win and get the team performing as high level as possible.
And they always talk about a goalkeepers union. Now, you've been superb since coming in, but a reference to Matt Turner, who played the opening game against Peterborough and won man of the match. Competition, but friendly competition?
Some things are better left being unsaid. Goalkeeper only one can play. And yeah, Matt's done really well. I think obviously I watched him the first game and, it wasn't easy for him to just get chucked in basically. I think he found out pretty late that he was going to be involved in the game, his first game in his career, and for him to do that well was, it's really positive. And of course, when you see someone do well, you want to do well as well. And yeah, it's up to me to provide competition. And he's pushing as much as possible. He's pushing me, and that can only help both of us in the long run in general. So I think the standards are really high at the moment in terms of how we've performed. And yeah, I think the coach can be pleased with us at the moment. So yeah, hopefully we can just keep pushing each other.
I know you're doing this interview for Cardiff City TV, but let's go back to that move in the summer. When Cardiff come calling, and all right, it's a League One club, but you must see the potential of this club. You must see the size of it, particularly. Obviously, Brian would have spoken to you about his vision. What attracted you to Cardiff, and what was the excitement level?
Brian was pretty much the one who made my decision for me. Basically, we had a call, and he really told me the vision of what he wanted and how, he's always been a fan of me since I think I played against him when he was managing Rochdale at the time, and he said he's always been a big admirer of me, and he kind of told me how I'd fit into the system and how he'd be able to use me in the team and the potential of the team and being in a winning environment and being in a club that, the pressure of winning games and expected to be getting promoted as well. So for me, that's always been a challenge. Obviously, coming from Copenhagen was a similar situation where, you're expected to win every game, win every trophy, and that's an environment that I wanted to be back into.
Let's explore that a little bit more, because I asked Ruben this as well. You are at a club in League One and respect to the whole of League One, but Cardiff are expected to win games, challenge for promotion. It's a capital city, a big club. There's pressure, and the manager seems to embrace that pressure. The players are embracing that as well?
I don't think we're paying too much attention to the outside noise in terms of what other people expect us to do, but we also know the expectation is to be promoted, however that is going to happen. So for us, I think I said in an interview earlier this season that anything but promotion is a failure. I think all the team knows that. I think when you look at the quality we have in the team in terms of experience and talent as well, we should be getting promoted with this team, and there should be no other option.
You've become a fan favourite pretty quickly at Cardiff City Stadium. When that stadium is rocking, it's very exciting. Also, the away support this year has been phenomenal, and you're closest to them a lot of the times. What has that meant to you?
Yeah, it's everything. I think the support has been amazing, especially the away games. You see that they have some sections sold out already days before the game, and yeah, it's massive for us. I think it's needed for us to push on, and really we need that support throughout the whole season. So yeah, it's amazing. Even playing at the home games, the support's been amazing. And it's something that we're going to need throughout the rest of the season.
And your personal ambitions, and I'm not just talking Cardiff City, you're only 26, which is young for a goalkeeper. You're playing exceptionally well. International ambitions, career ambitions, obviously we hope you stay in Cardiff, but what's in the forefront of your mind?
I try not to think too far ahead. Obviously my ambitions are to play at the highest level as possible. Obviously my main goal at the moment in my head is just to get promoted with Cardiff and get the club back to where it needs to be, and then that's in the Championship, and then and we'll see what happens after that. But at the moment, that's my only goal. That's all I think about day in, day out till the end of the season.
The other thing I wanted to ask you specifically as a goalkeeper was the mental side of the game. And again, I asked Ruben Colwell in our last interview how he's coped with pressure of expectation. But as a goalkeeper, it's a different pressure. I haven't seen you let in a bad goal yet, but it does happen. You're the last line of defence. When you concede a goal or concede a bad goal, how do you shake it off?
I try not to think too much of it. I always think there's other amazing top goalkeepers, top athletes that have made mistakes. So I think I try not to be too heavy on myself. And there's a lot of games being played, and I think after that, making a mistake or maybe letting it go, I think I could do better at. Then I'm pretty simple on myself. I try to forget it as quick as possible and just move on. And this is part of sports. So everyone's human. You're gonna make mistakes. The important thing is to learn from it and not make the same mistake twice.
It's mentioned your age, 26, but you're a veteran in terms of this group. Youngsters, I suppose, bring freedom of expression. They bring excitement. Occasionally, there's going to be bumps in the road. Are you a voice in the dressing room?
Yeah, I would say I wouldn't say I'm the most vocal leader, but I'm someone who just likes to lead by example on the field or off the field in terms of how I train, how I conduct myself around them. I just try and keep it stable on the pitch. Obviously, these are guys who are young. It's the beginning of the season so far, but it's going to be a long year. So for me, it's just try to create a calm environment and try not to overreact to things and just try to keep everything as simple as possible for the boys. And I talk to them a lot during the game, and I just tell them all the time just to communicate with me, let me know what I need to do. If I need to slow the play down, if you want me to speed up, just continue to talk to me. And they've been brilliant since the first game I've played. So the communication has always been good, and it's important for me more on the field to speak with them and just to keep everyone in check.
That's a really good point. And I see Brian Barry Murphy and Gavin Ward and the rest of the coaching staff talking to you sometimes. You're responsible for dictating a lot of the tempo of the game, I suppose.
Yeah, I think a lot's on my shoulders in terms of starting the play. Obviously, some games are a lot more direct than others, but there's quite a few games where a lot of the play starts with me. So it's up to my decisions at the start, how we want to play out. And obviously, there's a lot of risk and reward in terms of that. So yeah, for me, it's a responsibility that I like to take. It's when it's going well, it's going well. But it's important for me to be the one to set the tone for the team in terms of how we play. And yeah, that's something that I've enjoyed.
Modern football is about playing around the press. That starts from the goalkeeper, and Cardiff have done it well this season. As fans, we get nervous. You must hear the fans going, clear it or kick it away. Yeah. Do you hear it? And does that have any effect on you whatsoever?
I hear it all the time. I can hear certain people screaming certain things, but I can't let it affect me at all. That's just part of sports. You're going to hear those comments. But yeah, I know what the plan is. It was my job to follow what Brian wants me to do, what the team wants to do. So I can't really listen to anything outside. I'm the one who's making the decisions, and I know maybe sometimes people see me do a Cruyff turn or do some things that I'm normally supposed to do. But yeah, these are my decisions, and these are just some things that I have to do in the game.
Final question, Nathan. You are playing for the capital city club in Wales. We like to think it's the biggest club in Wales. Has anyone immersed you in the Welsh culture yet? Have you had a Welsh cake? Have you had a pint of brains? Have you learned some Welsh words? Anything Welsh at the moment?
No one's told me anything culture-wise in terms of food or anything like that. But I do hear some of the boys speak Welsh at times. Yeah, that's the only thing I've done so far.
Can we get you fluent in Welsh by the end of the season?
Hopefully, that'll be interesting. But yeah, I'm down for it.
Excellent. We certainly hope that we get you fluent in promotion. Nathan, it's been a pleasure. You've done great so far this season. Long may it continue.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.